actually shit.
Alright, Miss Thing, I'm back, you back, we back, just like somehow you already know. It's me, your girl P, your favorite bitch, and your favorite witch. Welcome to this week's episode of Postscript, also known as PS the Talk Show. And yes, I know that we missed last week, but last week we're going to get into it this week, like we always do. Short episode for you today. So let's get right into it with our first segment, P's favorite pieces. For P's favorite pieces, we're going to start with our Summer Walker merch. Little ASMR. This is a stainless steel cup. Obsessed came with a stainless steel straw. And it says, still finally over it. It is maybe like 24 ounces or something of that nature. So cute. I also got a robe that's the same color as like the blue gems. I got a shirt, but I already wore that to the gym, so it's in the washer. So I'll show y'all that another time probably. What else? We got a lot of stuff from the merch. Oh, I got the shades. I got a keychain. Yeah, it was just like, I love little different like merch stuff. I'm always gonna get a t-shirt regardless, but people always gonna be having like different look. Like, girl, it's a whole tumbler with like bedazzled jewels. Like, well, the girl said, you cutting up my motherfucking thigh, nigga, you could be jeweled. But yeah, obviously the show was amazeballs. Oh my god, it was when she did Riot. I promise you my soul could have left my body because I did not expect her to be on the set list. That is one of my favorite Summer Walker songs, and I was just like, I don't think she's gonna do Riot. It's so like old, and I'll never really hear people talk about it. Girl, when I heard that on the guitar, my soul could have left my body. Like, I had a blast. The show was bomb. She looked bomb. She sound bomb. Oh my gosh, shout out to my girl TJ. We cut up. Oh my god, Mona Leo did amazing. Just, yes, all the things. Questions that need answers. What do it mean if I feel like the men that like me, that I like back, why they act like bitches? I don't know, something about that. It's just like, should I like gay boys? I don't know. Like, what does that mean? Like, because the boys that like me that I don't like back, they act so much better. Like, bitch, what's happening here? But I digress. What pissed me off today, speaking of the summer merch, I done told y'all I got everything under the sun. And now I'm thinking back, and I'm like, it was this other t-shirt I should have got. But I'm also was like, I'm going to get the other thing so I could let the t-shirt live. And I thought I could let the t-shirt go. And now that I can't get it no more, I understand that I can't let it go. So, and I should have got it. But there's that. Okay, this week's bar for bar, I'm obviously going to pick a Summer Walker song because that's just all I've been like in the mood for since the show. But I really wish she would have did Robbed You. Oh my god, I wish she would have did that song so bad. Love that she did Session 32. That is my song. Ooh, that's my song. But this week's bar for bar, I also really, out of any of the songs I wish she would have did, I wish she would have did this one the most. I wish she would have did Stitch Me Up off of the Finally Over It album. That song, yeah, that's the two bar for bar. Stitch Me Up by Summer Walker. Alexa, play Stitch Me Up by Summer Walker. Girl, speaking of Session 32, it's just like, that song is so good. Like, and then you ever have a song that you just relate to too bad. Like, when I first heard that song and the first opening lines was, threw away your love letters, I thought it'd make me feel better. I finally got you out my bed, but I still can't get you out my head. I said, do this bitch know me? What's that about? What? Because how? Every bar of that, every line, every word of that bar, I was just like,
Midwest country bitch. Get it too stupid. She said she loved me, what happened to that?
girl, burnt the love letters though, because I'm an arsonist, so there's that. But I digress. Girl, you talking about that? When I first heard that song, that took me back to my younger years, and I was like, girl, what you mean? Hold on, what? This was Conscious Cunt. I guess I love when like certain, this was Conscious Cunt. I just wanted to say like, I hate when social colloquialisms just be like so correct. When people be like, you know, oh, when you're interested in a lover, you usually look for the person that's like, you know, the opposite sign of your rising. Or like if you're a girl, you look for someone that reminds you of your dad. Or if you're a man, you would look for in your woman who reminds you of your mom, like that kind of thing. And then I just be like, y'all might be right, because I don't ask people for things often, specifically like my parents. But when I ask my mom for something, he'd be like, all right, and then like do it. And I'd be like, that's what's up, because that was not my experience growing up with my other side parents. So there's that. But yeah, and then when I be like really thinking about it, it's just like that's exactly what I want out of every person, specifically a man. When I actually do something, that you do it. No reminders. No, I don't gotta say this and be saying that and do. And then like when you say you're gonna do it, you're gonna do it. And then also like my dad is a very tall, like very country man, and it's just like, yeah, I guess I would kind of like that in a husband. I would be like, girl, it's certain things about yourself that you just can't deny, I guess. All right, for this week, we also talked about Cancer season. Today's actually my sister's birthday, so shout out to her. And today my cousin's birthday too. But so on the 29th of June, we entered Cancer season. So I've been told y'all happy birthday to y'all, all that good stuff. It was the summer solstice on that same day. Also on June the 29th, Venus went in Leo, and then also on June 29th, Jupiter went into Leo. So Venus and Jupiter are currently in Leo right now. With Venus and Leo, that just gives like double down on your caring and nourishment for your life and for yourself and for your, you know, home base. Because Cancer season is about nourishment, not optimization, as my girl Maddie said. And I said, oh, you ate that. I love that. Check in with your commitments and your boundaries. Like I said, your overall home base, your foundation. And like I said, we had the Mercury retrograde on June 29th. And Mercury retrograde tell you a joke, but it never tell you a lie. Because why did my check get deposited late as hell into my bank account? I'm calling the bank. They're like, well, got it. I checked my job. And they're like, well, yeah, we sent it because we always pay you when we pay you. And I'm like, exactly. So I don't understand what's going on. I didn't get my check till like 3 o'clock, I want to say. And I was freaking out. So, but then I wasn't freaking out because I was like, it is Mercury retrograde. So don't do too much. And everything worked out. Crisis was averted. So the Mercury retrograde is happening in the sign of Cancer, and it just means like uncomfortable things, vulnerable things coming to the surface. So be aware of that. Don't be quick to try to project if you're trying to express yourself, because that's different. Because, you know, Cancer is like soft and gentle and subtle and sensitive and things. So it's the season of nature and nurture, right? Care. Express yourself. Have the uncomfortable conversation, the vulnerable conversation. Also on 29th, we had the full moon in Capricorn, and Capricorn is very about their business. It's very, it's time for an audit. Let's check in. Let's look back to the beginning of the year, January 18th specifically, when Mercury was in Capricorn at the time. Again, we talking about back in January. So just remember that Capricorn, like I said, is about their business, and it can get very quick to be like, oh, you did this, okay, now do this next, do this next, do this next. Because everything you do is never enough for Capricorn a little bit, right? And so don't get caught up in that. Do what you can, not everything. You don't got to do everything. Like I said, stop trying to fix your whole weekend, your whole life over the weekend. But you can revisit, renegotiate, and revise, as my girl Maddie said. Because everything that's a feeling isn't necessarily a fact. She ate that too. And I was like, yes, come on, you coming with the heat this week. So if Jupiter and Leo, think back to 2014, 2015, like specifically the summer, like around June 2014 to about August 2015. And think about how the light of your life changed, what grew, what really shifted in a expansion kind of way. Because I know exactly what happened for me. Like it was y'all know I was talking about, you know, living multiple lives, and it was a certain era of my life that was closing and another era of my life that was beginning, and that era of my life set me off into a trajectory that I never even knew was possible. So I feel that, I know the same thing is happening now with this next life, because we're in a new era of your timeline, but the same action that occurred then can occur now if you have the same understanding and commitment to it. Because like I said, it's all about the things that nourish you, not necessarily the things that make you feel optimized. So yeah, pick back up where you left off the last time you changed your life, because it's time to change it again in the best way possible. Expand, grow, be everything you ever wanted to be, everything you thought you could be, everything you knew you could be. Because you're older, you're mature, you're wiser, you've had more experiences, you've grown more, you had more, like, you know what I'm saying? So own that and stand in the light of that, and don't be timid about it. And yeah, that's all I got. Thanks for coming. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, share, turn the bell on, all the things. And you know how we end the show, but just be mad because you hating, and just be hating because they be mad. Well.